in the past couple of years about the naming of things and whether they are offensive or not to certain groups. Now, coon cheese, of course, named after the person who did the pasteurisation process, was deemed to be offensive because that word is also obviously a racial slur. Things like red skin have also been deemed to be so, thus have now been changed. Things like Chicos as well. Well, a petition has popped up at change.org.au to change the Streets ice cream, famous ice cream that's been around since the 1930s, of Golden Gay Time because of its potential offence to LGBTIQ plus communities. Now, it has got about 1,068 signatures in favour of it, and the person behind it is Brian MC. That's the name he's given us and the name that is on the petition. Brian is on the telephone now. Brian, put simply, what is straight out offensive to you about the term golden gay time?
Well, I just feel that at this day and age, the gay is a sexual orientation and its double meaning. Being joyous or happy is an outdated meaning. I've had to go through a lot to find my sexuality, to be a proud gay man. I've gone through many parts of my life, as I say in my petition. I just feel that historical brands, obviously exist within the country, as you've said. Redskins and a few other examples have updated their names. I just feel that it's time the Golden Gay Time follows. Especially the reason I started the petition is they're not only being a historical brand at the moment, they're doing two new cross promotions. They're releasing their own independent street ice cream Easter egg. So they're using gay within a modern term, and I feel that a modern definition of gay should be applied to the branding.
Well, I suppose, my response to this is, look, while I read your petition and the personal struggles, I don't want to belittle in any way, shape or form, or anyone who's had struggles in any way about their sexuality, about how their families have accepted or not accepted it. So the conversation isn't at all about that. But Brian, I suppose the thing is that terms like coon or redskin were slurs, negatives. I have never heard the term gay time used in a negative fashion. That's why I come at this with a slight amount of scepticism.
I fully understand that. I come from the opinion that gay does have a negative connotation. Some people would say, that's gay, it's a negative. So it does have a slur, even in its own definition, there is a slur. I view also the fact that as a part of age, sexuality, sexual orientation, gender, race, disability, they're all protected characteristics within the law. So I'm coming from the petition also pointing out the fact that, there is a protected characteristic. Shouldn't we uphold that? And gay should be as a part of the sexual orientation as is commonly known. Isn't it time to update the branding?
So what reaction have you had to this? And can I just be very clear? If you disagree with Brian, to abuse Brian is a disgraceful thing to do. It's not acceptable. We can disagree with the idea, but don't disagree with the bloke or his personality. So Brian, what have you received by way of reaction, positive and negative, since this thing went mainstream today?
Well, there's been probably more negative reaction than positive reaction, to be 100% honest. I've been called many things online, which I feel is unfair. I'm not wanting to address that. But then on the other hand, even in my petition, I've had people sign and say that it's an outdated and offensive name. One person said that they can't believe that an ice cream is still called gay time ice cream and it's an outdated term. So I've had a balance of both people supporting and disagreeing with me. And obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I just feel that it's an outdated product, it's an outdated name. I understand completely it's a historical brand, but as you said, many historical brands have renamed. I just feel that potentially this is the next one to rename.
All right. Now, interestingly, 1,068 people have joined the petition, therefore agree right now. As you know, this will be in mainstream media all over the joint. At least one poll on one news website's got 41,000 people voting, 98% of which say they don't want to change the name. What do you want to say to those who are willing to vote publicly against what you're saying?
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I I find that a little bit disheartening. I thought there'll be a bit more of an open conversation that people would understand that I'm coming from a point of view that I feel gay is my sexuality, it's my sexual orientation, it's how I identify as an individual. I thought there would be a little bit more feedback in regards to that, a little bit more understanding in regards to that, rather than just going, no, it's a historical brand, gay means happy, let's leave it as it is. It's always easier to leave something as it is than change. I just find it, potentially a bit disappointing. Like many things within the LGBTQIA plus community, it has to go to a poll. Why does everything have to go to a poll? I find it offensive. Over 1,000 other people have signed the petition. When is enough enough?
Yeah, but not for the point of argument, but just for the point of discussion, right? Is that at what point in time does one person's offence outweigh other people's understanding of what that product is, of what that ice cream is? And as I said, I've never seen that to be the same sort of slur that things like coon or redskin have been used in the past. I think that's the issue here, Brian, which is that I'm happy to have the conversation, but obviously, and I'm not suggesting you are, but we all know that the internet is a mean place. I don't want to be called a homophobe because I don't agree with you on this issue.
I mean, I think it's a good environment to have an open conversation. I've had many people within the LGBTQIA plus community say that they support the product. I've had many people say that it's a crazy petition. Their words, not mine. I've had one person comment and say something along the lines of, it's been a long-standing inside joke within the gay community that Golden Gay Time is our little secret treat. I've had other people say, and I've seen other comments online, say that they always enjoy when a straight person at the gay has Golden Gay Time. I just feel that isn't it time to stop these conversations? Isn't it time when people are still being harassed in high school, when people are being called gay in the street, when people are being attacked for their sexuality? Isn't one less thing pointing out gay appropriate in this day and age?
What should it be called, Brian?
Look, I've said within my petition, and I've always said, I don't feel it's my place to say what they should be called. Street Ice Cream has said, as a part of their statement, that the name meant joyous or happy. Call it joyous or happy. If that's the definition that they're using, call it that. Why does my sexual orientation need to be on a package?
All right, good on you. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it, Brian. All the best, mate. Brian MC, that's the name that he's given us. That's the name that's on the petition. Agree, disagree. You agree, go to change.org.au. If you disagree, be respectful in the way that you do. Appreciate the conversation. We'll get to Christy McSweeney in a second. A man who I'm sure enjoys an ice cream the same way that I do. Darren, don't want to be disrespectful. I disagree with Brian. I wasn't going to abuse him because I disagree.
I'm the same. I thought he presented himself very well. He was very calm and he was measured and he was logical and it was referential to his own history. I won't be signing the petition, but I respect his right to make it a point of discussion.
Yeah, but Christy, guys, will you tell me, right, that'll be helpful at some point in time. By the way, I wanted to point this out as well, which is that the Mardi Gras a couple of years ago, the sexualisation of the term Golden Gay Time, whether it had been sexualised or co-opted or whatever you want to say by parts of this apparently was the somebody dressed as a Golden Gay Time at Mardi Gras. So I think we're all kind of aware of it.
There were plenty of gay people who've had a lot of fun with this over a long period of time.
I get it, it's two white straight blokes, blah, 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 blah. But as I said, I can understand how it can be construed that coon was offensive, right? I can understand how redskin was construed to be offensive, right? I don't think anything changes by changing their names, but I do not see, even after talking to Brian, what the fundamental offence of gay time is.
Yeah, look, it's the use of the term and what the modern use of the term is. And
it's not a disrespectful use of the term.
I'm just going to say that the modern usage, I think he's probably correct, that the modern usage is more towards orientation than fun, but I'm not sure where the offence is. I'm not sure where the offence is.
If it was on what could be construed as a negative product, a negative experience, but the downside of an ice cream is, well, apart from, you know what I mean?
Actually, we are a good example of the downside of ice cream, but
1300 30 34 35 is that telephone number. What do you want to say about that petition or about our wider conversation tonight? Also, Nicole Fleet has gone back into the parliament under parliamentary privilege and called out journalists. We'll show you what she had to say straight after the break. And your calls next. 1300 30 34 45.